Hello folks, BugBrew.com here, and Ireland builds it together with you. Don't worry about the website, it's renovating, I'm thinking what to do about it. In the meantime, you have YouTube and all other channels. Here is a modern match between John Midrange on the left and Affinity on the right. I'm piloting John. Um, don't be surprised if the decks look a little bit weird in terms of builds. Probably not the up-to-date builds, for sure. Although main deck of Jan's deck is actually quite alright. But the sideboard is kind of weird. That's about it. The Affinity's list is kind of a standard one. So nothing insane there. I'm thinking to go back to Atticus. I might basically write a bit about Absent Company in Modern and perhaps Blue Red Delver in Legacy, stuff like this. But I don't know, it's hard to find time. So John is pretty much a good deck right now, but Absent kind of surpassing it a little bit right now in the meta. Perhaps because of the fact that it's better equipped to dealing with threats in mid-range matchups and also ramp matchups. So Path is quite good right now, I suppose, because of Prime Time, Wormcoil, that you don't actually want to terminate, things like that. But on the other hand, Call Against Command is a trump card against Affinity, for example, or Delver, let's say. So I would say that Call Against Command is actually pretty sweet against below decks also, compared to something like Path. So it depends on the meta, because, well, also Lingering Souls historically has been pretty good against Liliana decks, so there is that. Affinity Mold down to 6, just wanted a more explosive hand, I guess, because John has all sorts of answers against Affinity, that's for sure. There's so many removal spells and just everything. It's not just about Call Against Command. And bolts are better here, because they don't give them an extra land. Things like that. So just a blank muff into Memnite, that's not spectacular or particularly fast, but it's better than nothing, I guess, for turn 1. Fetching on my turn for a crypt, so let's see. I think that was a Thoughtseize kind of turn or something like that. Because I can't imagine fetching a shock main phase like that if I had a bolt or something in my hand. Friend who was nearby was pointing out that, like, generally speaking, going to 17 means that you're casting Thoughtseize, but in this scenario it's just about the shock lens. I guess the opponent on the right is more of a modern, legacy players. Also, pretty much the same goes for a friend who is off camera. And it's not Thoughtseize, it's Acquisition that is taking out Cranial Plating out of hand, just so that he doesn't have that kind of an explosive hand. Also, it's his turn to play. I think he has a Edge Champion in hand and Steel Overseer, yeah. But Overseer I can deal with. For plating I would need something like Abrupt Decay or Call Against Command. That's still quite a few answers, but still pretty narrow. Thanks to Tim, I'm falling down to 14 already. That was a point of damage from Memnite. Another Inquisition that gets rid of the Edge Champion. Of course, the Gal Blast is kinda scary in the hand, but right now he cannot actually you know, use Metalcraft and something like that, and also he doesn't have a source of colored mana as well. He has Inkmoth and Blinkmoth, Memnite in play. I think he just drew a Memnite of sorts, or Ornithopter or something like that. So it looks pretty green right now. Inquisitions have been lifesavers here, I would say. Though he would have needed a third land for this champion. Also, this is a multi-6 on the play from Affinity. Not always the greatest. Oh yeah, so animated, Blinky, cast Ornithopter. I just cast a Confident, which is a bit scary, but because I'm at 12. I'm probably not blocking the Memnite here, but next turn, if I'm like taking 4 from a Handmaster or something like that, I might think about blocking. Can't block Blinkmoth too, that's the thing. And also, Bobby dies here to Galblast, but I think if he ever gets the mana to cast it, he would just shoot for it to face instead of just clearing up the pesky. They're confident that can actually, you know, kill me. Although he's played against Bubs, he said a lot of times in Modern Legacy, and he really likes killing them right away, unless it's some very weird situation. Because if I would have been at something like at 3 life, I would probably never cast it. Just the... Although it's still a blocker for Memnite. It's still a blocker for Memnite. Maybe if I desperately needed to draw some bolts or some life gain, maybe then I will. Colgan's command setting me down to 8, but with a third land, this command is actually gonna be quite brutal. I can then, you know, go for a 2-for-1. Because he doesn't have colored mana yet, I'm tempted to actually cast it now so that I can go discard and make him lose that Galblast, because at this point he can easily activate Galblast. So I'm consulting my friend like what land he would have searched here, what basic. We went for a swamp because yeah, there were a lot of black cards in my hand. Don't generally need double green, do need double black quite sometimes, do have a lot of black cards. Don't really need double red because this is the post-Ben's era, so you don't really have to have Anger of the Gods main deck enjoined. So yeah, I think yeah, killed the Wolf Scourge that I couldn't block, and made him discard the Galblast. Confident is still a bit of a liability, but I can kind of control this. I'm actually trading here because I think I just had another Bob in hand, and I probably would have cast like Lily on the next turn or something, I don't know. And I think that's a Volt Scourge, yeah, because he took life for casting it. So there are a number of things I could do here, but if I cast Lily, which I think is my plan, I probably don't minus her, because then he can kill her straight ahead multiple ways. Even though I had only 1 green, but Ooze is probably a better play this turn. He's top decking, so he cannot actually kill me directly with just 1 card that he can potentially draw. So that's another Inkmoth. So what he can do is animate the first Inkmoth and pump it with the I think no, he cannot actually. No, he's he was 1 short. And he's very much close to kill me with damage. But Scavenger's could have something else to say about that, because he can slowly make me go back into this game. Black Eclipse is really annoying because I can't keep up green and cast Liliana, for example, just to, get rid of something maybe. But actually it's not that great here because then he just sacrificed Ornithopter. But then she would save also one crucial point of uh, damage because he would pretty much have to kill her, I guess. Though not necessarily. He can pretty much cast almost everything at this point. Mid 5. He does have freelance, so cranial plating is lethal here, technically. So that's a problem. But I don't think I had any. I was dead to plating anyway. So what did I do? Ah, yeah, it seems like he had one card in hand or something like that. Oh no, he just blocked with Memnite. Was that the thing? Did that just happen? Yeah, I plussed Liliana, but I think he was hellbent when I cast her and plussed, pitching Thoughtseize. Still one green, which is annoying. We just have quite a lot of food for it in his graveyard already. So let's say he had a Galblast in hand, and now he just needs to draw a Glimmer Void, or a Drum, or Mox. Ooh, that must have hurt. Let's Master Refugium, which he couldn't cast because of no blue mana whatsoever. And yeah, I decided to go for Huntmaster, more bodies for next turn attack, gives me scarce life, and yeah, made him discard. So Galblast is not lethal because he wouldn't be able to cast it. Yeah, double-sided proxy, as funny as it is. Well, not exactly, but sort of. Signal Pest is too late to the party here. He would have loved to have it like a couple of turns ago, I think. Just a push for that extra damage. Plating was definitely a total win here. Ravager probably as well. Just animate Naxos and sacrifice the board and kill me. Something like that. But, no. Well, he could have put everything on Scourge too, but whatever. Yeah, Ravager and Plating would have won him this game at almost at any turn. But no. But at least I played this game in such a way that I was dead to those cards no matter what, so might as well play it around cards that I had the chance to play around. Fetch putting me to 2, which is probably a minimal difference at this point. You're probably gonna sacrifice Pest here once I minus Lily here. Fetch for green basic so that I could activate Ooze a little bit. Now I'm just counting. Well, that's not lethal, I think, by any means, but it's still interesting. I don't remember what I had in my hand at that point. I don't think I had anything relevant. Yeah, I guess I wasn't activating Lily just yet, because if he would have chump blocked here, then he would have to sacrifice Volscourge. Using those right now, because why not? Cannot really represent anything. Or rather, that doesn't make sense. He takes it all in, so yeah. Maybe I did actually activate Lily. Maybe I just blast her last turn or something like that. think she's at 3 at this point or something. Could be more. Yeah, Gal Blast, that would have been basically a win if only one of those lands was a Glimmer Void, I suppose. Yeah, that's kinda awkward. Awkward as hell. I don't think there is a way for him to survive. The Scourge actually died because of the Huntmaster trigger. Because he does 2 to face and 2 to a creature when he transforms. So yeah, that's a thing. Yep, there's probably no way to survive this turn. I guess before Comet I just minus Lily to get rid of the pest. And then, what is it? He only has 1 blocker. Like one of the Naxes. Probably the Ink Moth. But, what is it? Yeah, he's at no matter what here. I think. Yeah, and I even have a Terminate for that Nexus. Yeah, kinda lucky. So would have been a bit more dramatic if he ever drew a Glimmer White, I think. Don't think I played it as safe as possible, but I don't think I made any major mistakes here, considering the stuff that I drew this game. Apart from this video at the moment, I think I have one more modern tape and one more standard match for you to show in the next uploads. The modern one is the Absent Company against Grizzle Holbrand. Kind of funny match, but it's a show. It's a show. Even if it's not as interactive as you would hope a modern match would be, but it's a good showdown from either side. Actually, a Reanimator is something that should be on your radar right now in the format, because lots of people will assume that Dredge is dead. Well, Dredge is very much crippled, but it's not dead. It's still actually at deck. It's just not the Tire 1 deck anymore. And then, because people think that graveyard decks are not that amazing right now, you could just stick to Reanimator and trump tournaments. Now we're sideboarding, definitely bring in Damnation, I think. Knights of Soul Betrayal is awesome. Grim Lamenter is awesome. Engineered Explosive is awesome. Ancient Grudge, of course. Collective Brutality, not so much. Olivia is awesome if you have time. So Grudge is awesome, I told you. Beef and Needle is awesome. Pyroclasm is awesome. Everything is awesome. So this is like kind of classics era jaunt sideboard. Here actually, this guy kind of made me crack by saying that he's not sure whether to side in Blood Moon here or not. But I think it's a no-brainer, because it cripples Affinity itself because of the manlands, but it could just straight out win the game. And okay, I can still cast first half of the Grudge and Pyroclasm and stuff like that, and some bolts, but it does cripple me. And if you cast this one against Abzan, they're just done most of the time. Unless they took money into mana pool and then decay it. I think my plan is just take out all discard spells. Of course, leaving Kolgan's commands in. I don't really need forces and Inquisitions. Calatus is too slow. They have too many flyers. It's really not that great. I think it's just a one of main deck. Yeah, taking out all Inquisitions, all Thoughtseize from the deck. I think this build had a 3 and 3 split. Though normally I think you see 4 and 2 split. 4 for Inquisition. Taking out at least one Bob. Because it's really not that great in this matchup. So apart from Moans, there are a few more things. Affinity can board in here. Seagate Wreckage is an option, of course, but I don't know. Perhaps it's right because it just replaces a random land and then gives you the ability to try to grind it out. Because I have so much removal. And yeah, the opportunity cost of just setting in Seagate Wreckage is quite small, I think. Maybe he would just think that it's too slow. So board in Thoughtseize, I think. In my mind, he probably should board in Dismember too. He's thinking of taking out Ornithopters. Don't know what I think about that. So Ornithopters and probably some pests. I think Gallblasts are actually important. Yeah, Spellskite is good, for sure. Yeah, some Ornithopters, some, and all of the pests are going out. I think I should have boarded in Dismember. Okay, wait, so he's actually taking out Gallblast, or what the hell? Yeah, I think he's taken out then. Okay, so he left in Ornithopters and I think he took out all pests and Gallblasts. I'm not sure I agree with that. Gallblast, among things, can kill Lily, can just free out the path, can just go face and finish up the games like that. I don't know. It could kill a 3-4 Tarmo that would attempt a race or something like that. Maybe the cards that he's bringing in are much more impactful. Well, Thoughtseize clearly is. It could save up the entire game by just taking out the mass removal. Important thing to add here is that this is probably not the first Jones vs Affinity playtest match that I've got here. Anyways, Affinity and John Midrange in different configurations has been used in playtesting throughout the couple years of the existence of this channel, so we recommend checking out those tapes of these pillar archetypes of the format in the modern playlist on this channel. So if that's your cup of tea, I would do that. With decks like this, which have existed since pretty much 2011, when Modern picked up as a format, most of the time these feature matches are not really getting outdated. Unless there is something strange in the force, I mean, like Dredge having everything, or not having everything. I think Affinity has a pretty clunky hand here, I would say. He's thinking about mulliganing. I'm debating 2, but not for too long. Seems like I kept here, and also did he. But I didn't look that happy about my hand. That's a Volt Scourge turn 1 off of a Glimmer Void, so He goes down to 18. My turn 1 is just a Raging Ravine. Second Glimmer Void. Thought sees me. He has to be pretty careful here. He needs at least one more artifact in play. With these two Glimmer Voids is kind of scary. So I have land number 2 at least, I think, if not more than that. I think I have a third land there. So I have Cleaves and the Tomb, I believe. So I have Olivia, Ooze, Bob, I think Lily 2, a Terminate, I believe. So solid hands. At least it has a turn to terminate, I believe. Or some creature 2-drop if he doesn't have a big start. Depends on what's his follow-up this turn. Dark Confidence might be a good idea. Okay, Signal Pest. Attack for 1 from the Scourge. Well, Dark Confidence is still okay-ish here, although now I don't have a life gain generator like Scourge, so it's a bit trickier. I think I drew a Bolt for the turn. That kind of makes me want to play a Bob here so that I can draw into more lands. I'll be taking 2 damage next turn, most likely. And if I draw a land, another, well, an untapped land at least, with the Bob, I can then Bolt and Terminate in the same turn or something like that. Potentially a Repume of Glimmer Voids. I passed the turn for some reason. Well, I guess I guess I had a third land there. And now Blood Moon is coming into picture and things are getting tricky. Use Interminate while I can to take out the Scourge. So I'm not taking any damage now. Even if I Bolt past here, his lands are not going away because they're mountains right now. That's third land, I don't exactly understand. Ah, yeah, it's a fetch land, I think. So, took out the pass with a Bolt, thinking that Glimmer Voids are still doing stuff, but they're not. That was one of really stupid mistakes, and we decided to rewind that because it just looks so bad here, killing a guy that is actually not producing any damage as it stands. I would rather keep him up to bolt away something more relevant. He casts a drum so that he just has more mana or something. Well, just higher artifact count. Overseer is okay here. It's probably better to start off with Overseer rather than Ravager, maybe. Because he only has 3 artifacts now, so Ravager actually doesn't make much sense. He doesn't know about the second Bolt, at least. Raging Ravine tapped, passing the turn. He can't activate that Nexus, so yeah. Okay, now Ravager comes in. I think that's another Nexus in his hand as his draw for the turn. Doesn't look all that great. Bolt on the Ravager, he decides to not save it. Well, he can't actually save it. Only... Okay, he's thinking actually how many counters Ravager is gonna leave beside him. I mean, behind him, or whatever. He's thinking, does it make sense to eat the drum? Perhaps it does, because he can still like cast everything. This is not a build with thought cast. He cuts himself off of mana to cast Master of Ethereum, but I don't know if he kept it in the deck at all. Probably kept, I think he kept them. But that's, I think, about it. That's probably the only card that would justify keeping the drum around. And now he kind of get value off of like eating the drum, because now I can't kill it with the Levamancer, for example. Plus this turn he has a safe attack pretty much. I already used 2 bolts, so number 3 and number 4 are unlikely. It can still happen. So yeah, can't cast anything because no freaking basics. It's pretty annoying, obviously. Now I can actually trade Levamancer for the past. I decide not to because I still have a high life total. But now he's gonna get punished because we just figured out that he doesn't have actually Metalcraft. So by not trading Levamancer here, I actually get quite a bit of value out of him. I should have killed the champion on his turn, of course. Because then I would be able to, trade Levamancer for the pest. My hand is loaded, but I can't cast anything. Decide to cast explosives now for 1. Because why not? Living mana up for activation. The problem is that it would actually kill my Levamancer. I don't know why it didn't occur to me, but that I could have just kept the Levamancer up and... No, wait. If I'm correct, pest actually can't be blocked by ground guys. Right? Yeah. Actually, it can't. I guess that's why I didn't even consider trading here. Because I can't actually block him with a ground creature. So that's a bummer. It's another mountain basically because of the moon. I should have cast explosives here, but I think I should wait at least 1 more turn. Let's take 2 more damage, falling down to 9. Still hoping to draw a basic or a bolt or something like that. There's a basic island here, but so he can cast Master of Ethereum if he so wants to. Now I cast explosives for 1 because I think I took enough damage off of it. And I don't want to take more. That's why I actually attacked with the Levamancer. So pest is gone, but he doesn't have anything relevant just yet. He passed his turn again because he drew just a Thoughtsays for the turn. I have a lot of gas, but I can't cast any of that stuff. I just need basics, of which there are some in the deck, but it's pretty low odds to actually draw them. Double Moon, in case I would, draw a, I don't know, something to get rid of the moon. And basics to cast it. At least I can cast Grudges or Pyroclasm or stuff like that. But I don't draw any of that, which is really sad. Now Master Ethereum comes into the picture, which is now, I believe, a 2-2, and Ravager is now a 2-2 as well. No, he has a Dark... No, Dark still is Mountain now. Dark still is a Mountain. So they're both 2-2 actually, I think. So Pyroclasm will do it here. Another 11 Mancer. Well, I think the build only runs one. Discard the Dark Confidant because it's 7 life. I'm not casting it. Plating, and I think that's lethal. I think that's exactly lethal. Because Master's 3-3 now. And Ravager, which is 2-2 right now, gets +3. So that's 5 plus 3, that's 8. That's 1 over. But that's lethal damage. And I can't do anything about that. So yeah, basically won him this game. Pyroclasm was second from top, which would have saved me before he cast Plating. Well, of course, basic Swamp would have been just game, I think. Because then I can cast half of my hand. At the very least. I think there was a Colligan's Command in my hand as well. Just, destroy, let's see, Plating, and then shoot down one of those creatures, for example. He couldn't actually reattach that instant speed because he didn't have non-red mana, for example. Okay, next game. And next game incoming. Next game incoming. Got pretty unlucky. I mean, the deck does have decays, for example. And I couldn't ever play around Blood Moon in that game because I simply didn't draw any fetches early on. Well, I drew them later in the game, but I would obviously prefer in that game the reverse to happen, and then he would simply get crushed because I just had way more action than he did. If only I would have been able to cast all of that stuff. Kinda wanna playtest with the Banned Flesh again a little bit. I'm just not sure where I left the deck. It's never a proxy one, but with good proxies. And you probably could not distinguish most of the proxies in this match. Basically, want to make a point that when you need to prepare for some tournament, of course any proxy will suffice if you just need to play to some matchup, especially when it's a new set coming out or in a totally new deck, a merged to top tier. And obviously in standard things change all the time. What I mean is that if you need to playtest some matchup, go for it, go for the proxies. And but if you just want to play with certain decks, then proper proxies are a good idea. Otherwise, you can just make big misplays just because you couldn't visually comprehend what card was that. pretty good draws in the start from Affinity. His Thoughtseize leaves me up with just Maelstrom Pulse at the moment in my hand and free lands. Lavamancer is still pretty decent here. If I have a fetch here, I should probably use the Lavamancer to shoot down the Ornithopter so that he doesn't get an extra mana next turn. And with this drum, drop a basic Swarm here, and I now just cast the Explosives for 0. This gives me food for my Lavamancer. Attacking with the Lavamancer, because, well, I don't have mana to activate it. And tempo actually matters in this matchup. Especially if you're a deck with bolts and sometimes pretty sizable Tarmogoyfs and stuff like that. It's a signal passed off of the Glimmer Void, and he doesn't have anything to do with that's remaining in 1 mana that he can create off of that drum. It's a tapped Raging Ravine. Now I'm using Lavamancer to kill the past. Again, trying to slow him down and managing my life total. That's a Vault Scourge for 1. Got nothing to cast. I think he has at least a Ravager in hand that he would have loved to cast. Catacombs, so fetch comes in. That's a 4th land. I'm glad to see fetches now to be able to feed the Lavamancer to clean up all the small stuff. Basically, John is a very bad matchup for Affinity. There should be miracles in order to survive. Maelstrom Pulse hitting Drum, and Lavamancer finishing off Vault Scourge. So end the turn, Glimmer Void has to be sacrificed, so this leaves him with no permanence. He doesn't draw a land. Stuck with 2 drops in his hand. Land number 5. Now I can just drop serious beats. Attacking with Ravine and Lavamancer for a total 5 damage, putting him down to 10, I think. I'm still at something like 18 or around that. He just quickly scoops because he just doesn't draw any mana whatsoever. So yeah, you sometimes get games like this. Didn't have a choice. He had to play out his stuff. He couldn't just sandbag all his cheap permanents. Yeah, Lavamancer did a lot of work this game, obviously. Keeping him off 2 mana for several turns. Yeah, the turn before I cast Maelstrom Pulse, if he would have drawn another land or, I don't know, say, Memnite or Topter to use up with the tram, then this game could have been quite different. But I think I had such a big mana advantage for 2 manning turns, so that I would have been probably able to race effectively. Plus the Maelstrom Pulse could have killed, a Ravager or something if he drew a 2nd mana. See, Spellskite in his starting hand in this next game. Quite a relevant card in this matchup, though. It's pretty bad against Colligan's command, for example, because he can just target it with the destroy target artifact, claws, and then still shoot something down. No, you can't. Um, no, that does. I think that doesn't quite work. I think the only instance that kind of ignores Spellskite is the Electrolyze. Then I think you can't actually redirect both pings from Electrolyze to Spellskite. But the thing is that you can just always just kill the Spellskite and make them discard the card, for example, or bring back a guy. And if they don't have a Spellskite in play, then it's just a total disaster. Unless they have an edge champion and you're pretty low on life, so take some damage, cast their confidence, while he doesn't actually have damage in play. He can try to start poisoning me with the Nexus, but that's not really a fast thing unless he has a plating. Okay, Mox Opal, because of Darksteel Citadel, it's online. Okay, here comes the plating, perhaps? Well, he could just cast Overseer here, because that one is gonna be someone sick, while plating wouldn't. Okay, he decides to go for plating here. He doesn't need two mana to equip here, so that's kinda weird. Why would he tap 2 here? Let's equip it, you need only 1 to equip. So that's a bit weird. Otherwise he would have had Mox Opal up so that he wouldn't, for example, need to pay 2 life to redirect something onto it. For example, if I would have cast DK here onto plating, you would have much rather, you know, redirect it and sacrifice the Spellskite. Take a bit of damage, don't want to suicide with the Dark Confidant. Forgot to reveal my draw from the Dark Confidant, and I only drew 1 card. That just shows how much I actually played with the card in the Jandar Abzin. Well, I've been experienced pilots sometimes forget about it because they forgot. So I should show him what I actually drew with the Bob, just to clarify that I didn't draw anything crazy. I think I just say that it was a land, but it is a bit of information to show exactly which land. So I correct my mistake about the not drawing an extra card that could be relevant, minus Liliana, which is really sick here. So if I didn't have a Bob, I wouldn't have had a good turn. Also because for some reason he tapped 2. Yeah, he couldn't actually spend 1 extra mana to animate something, like a Nexus, and then sacrifice it to Lily. Well, Lily would die anyway, sure, but getting rid of Spellskite with Lily was a very crucial point. Still gonna take quite a bit of damage in various ways, whether it's poison or anything. He decides to actually cast Seer now. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. Now, for example, if I draw another Lily, like, he would be feeling kinda grumpy. Well, Seer will die to anything anyway. Again, I forgot to reveal at first, but then reveal and draw the extra card. Yeah, like, he's so kind to suggest me to put a reminder on top of my deck. I mean, it's a good thing, but let's just say that it's a good training to um, try to remember this stuff without a dice. Bolt away the overseer. Otherwise, he could untap and animate Nexus and just make them bigger. That's a timer glyph, which I think is quite big because there's a land artifact creature. Planeswalker instance. Make instant. So it's a big timer. Attacked with the Confident. I'm not gonna be able to block with it anyway next turn. Has a Topter, has a Ravager. Not sure if he has lethal here. There's a chance he could because of Opal. If he just like cast Ravager, I think he does have a Inkmoth in play, but I'm not sure if that would be lethal. Has 5 to actually cast Ravager, animate, and equip. Question is, would he actually have 10? Goes for Thoughtseize for some reason. I guess he just figured that I don't. There is no lethal poison. I'm not sure if I took any poison counters before. I have a Pyroclasm, which would be annoying. And 2 more Goyfs. He decides to discard Goyf for some reason, which is kind of weird. I would have taken the Pyroclasm here, perhaps. Okay, animates Nexus now. Okay. Going to equip here. I guess he didn't want to. Oh, maybe he just wanted to play it safe. Probably it wasn't enough to poison me that turn. I think I'm at something like 7 poison now. Oh, it's a Terminate. That's kinda unfortunate for him to see that. Guess he wouldn't have managed to instantly equip it to one of the Inkmoths. I think he actually has just one. I think the other one is just a Blinkmoth. Yeah, Terminate is pretty bad here. And I would need 2 instant removal spells if you just go with the Ravager plan. So I attacked with both my ground guys, Stomping Ground, untapped, a Goyf, and just passed the turn. 11 mana up for Terminate. I think I should, instead of playing that Goyf, probably should have Pyroclasmed. Because I think I would have found a way for lethal next turn, because I had like 5 mana and the Raging Ravine in play. That's 4 damage. Tips mana to perhaps animate? No, I would have cast Ravager first, maybe? Why would he do that? Okay, I have a Terminate that he knows about. And he has a Ravager in hand, didn't he? Why would he like do it like this? I don't get it. Okay, he has 1 mana to animate Inkmoth and then put counters on it from the Ravager. But if I have a removal here for like whatever, and he actually can't block with that Inkmoth, he can't instantly equip. Of course, leaving 1 mana up plays around stuff like Liliana. It's hard to say. he would have just probably sacrificed the blink mouth. I think I kind of talked him into using 1 mana to equip. I think it was correct at the time, so it only matters if there's Liliana involved. Not to use that mana. Okay, Pyroclasm happened. Yeah, Bob goes to the graveyard. Then I have Liliana for him to, yeah. I actually drew Lily here, so that he has no blockers now. Yeah, if he would have kept that 1 mana up, then I could have, he could have ate the Nexus. But I didn't have Liliana at that point in my hand. But then his Ornithopter was capable, I think, of trading with something. But I'm not sure. Probably not. That means that it was probably worthless if the Ornithopter with plating on couldn't trade for Goyf. Because Goyf, I think, at that point was 5/6. But because he was at such low life total, I think that Lily didn't matter. I think only, and he knew about the Pyroclasm. So, and the one Goyf was lethal, right? So Ravager would be gone. So yeah, either way he was dead here on my turn. But I think there was a chance to, yeah, the turn before he could have gone for lethal poison, I think. But the turn before that, I don't think he had lethal poison. But I think he could have tried to kill with by going deep with the Ravager and Inkmoth. I'm not sure if there was a lethal attack missed. I think there is a chance of that. Here we just decide to side out. I think because we're wrapping up this feature here. Feature meaning the format, where not big names in the game just yet. Because I have hopes about myself getting on the train eventually. I had so much remote, so much I hate, so it's hard to imagine actually losing after sideboards with this build. Because I think there was even a Slaughter Pact in the sideboard. That is perfectly fine main deck, I think. Yeah, basically it's either draw a very explosive hand backed up by some protection from Caesar Spellskite and also installing Blood Moon when I'm tapped out. That really helps. But I have so much paranoia. There is no Blood Moon there. It's gonna be really, really hard to lose after sideboard. But right now I think the general sideboards of Midrange doesn't actually have that many tools against Affinity. There is a chance that Galblast is actually fine. And this matchup kills, for example, Lavamancer. If not for Galblast, perhaps it's justifiable to actually bring in Dismember. Kills Tarmogoyf most of the time. That could be relevant. Kills Ravine. That could possibly raise. Kills Scavenging Ooze, for example. Yeah, you probably should have sided in a Dismember. Because you have so many Blink and Inkmoth Naxai, so he has ways to get rid of Lily. unless I just keep on plussing her or something. That's at least how I feel about it. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe. Uh, watch out for a few more videos. Perhaps I would record something like a deck tech for Blu-ray Delver, which I really love. And I think it's quite a potent deck. Unfortunately, it doesn't really show up that much in tournaments because I think people who normally have the option to play Blu-ray Delver in Legacy actually want to play something else at the big tournament, just have something more consistent, even though Blu-ray Delver is quite a consistent. As for Modern, I'm also thinking of some Blu-ray Tempo, I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking of building back the Blu-ray Storm. The right now most of the builds I saw that were played online after bans featured gifts and given instead of the Ascension. I don't know if Ascension Storm could be still a thing without the probe. It's kinda weird. But yeah, if you want to play Storm, you can do that, and probably Gifts is better than Ascension right now for that deck. I'm thinking of building also the Blue-Red Thing in the Ice Kill Fin deck. Seems like it's actually also kind of alive without the probe. It seems like it's still a deck. And in order to replace the banned detection probes, you just add some Noxious Revival, Segacho, or extra 1-mana cantrips, stuff like that. Righties, folks, until the next sale, goodbye.